O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come. We gather this day to offer heartfelt benediction upon the Southern Courier, a publication born of courage and conviction, dedicated to illuminating the social justice issues that have long cast shadows upon our beloved South.
Freedom Summer wound to a close in Mississippi. Several of the volunteers from various schools, hailing mostly from Harvard and Radcliffe College, began to have discussions about building a newspaper, building a functional periodical that could properly and adequately document the events that were taking place. The purpose of what will become the Southern Courier will be to provide an alternative information source to the world regarding the unique, unusual, and unprecedented circumstances that were faced by those in the South.
I am so happy that God has allowed this to happen, and everything just worked. When I came back here 6 years ago, I had taken pictures and rode around Montgomery, and I saw Georgia Gilmore's, Inez Baskins, Richard Boone. I saw monuments and markers for everybody. And when I come by here, I always think about the Frank Lew building, which was the newspaper's headquarters. I said, wait a minute, we need to be recognized too. Not we, but the Southern Courier needs a marker. So I was able to meet with Scotty Kirkland. Is he here? Scotty, from the Alabama Archives and History. He was the one we started before the pandemic, and it slowed us up. But after the pandemic was over, we went right back into it. And I praise God for the Courier workers who were reporters at that time. Ellen Lake was one of the founders of the Courier. She's one of the founders from Radcliffe. And she and her husband Bill are here. John Diamont from San Francisco. Mr. Stephen Cotton and his wife Becky. Ms. Gail Falk. And we have Mary Ellen Gale. Roberta, we call her Robin. New York, New York. When I was working for Newsweek in New York, she invited me to her apartment for dinner. And she shared something with me, and I hope I'm telling you, I remember it, how when FBI sent Dr. King's tape to Mrs. King, what he did was let some of the reporters hear that tape before he sent it to Mrs. King. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And she was on the talking about those the reporters that that the FBI let hear that tape about Dr. King in the hotel that he sent to Mrs. King. But I remember that story back in 69 or 70, long time ago.
Thank all of y'all for coming. We're so excited that you came. Thank you so much. You're ready. Drum roll.
Storytelling. I believe in the power of narrative and messaging as a tool for freedom and liberation. And for me, that's what the Courier represented during a time when mainstream media would not cover the lived experiences of Black folks. And I'm not just talking about the pain, the struggle, the resistance, but also the joy and the way that we showed up, in community. And that's important, right? And so, I think when we think about that type of whitewashing and sanitization of reporting, right, it moves us away from the purpose of the news media in the first place. And then we fast forward to today, and we're still dealing with some of the same things. And And so that's why it's important for my organization, which is Alabama Values. We are a grassroots communications organization that believes in the power of storytelling, narrative, and messaging. We work with civic and grassroots organizations in Alabama and across the South to make sure that they can use the media as an advocacy tool. How many of you know that we can use the media as our tool as well? And that's what the Southern Courier represented, for us.